Hello everyone, it's Luke from Train Guru and welcome to the end of the year Q&A. Now in 2021 I did intend to do an end of the year Q&A, however because of personal matters I could not complete it. However, this year I am not only answering all the questions that you all left from 2021, I am also answering questions from this year in 2022. I will do a 2022 recap video at some point. However, for now, here is the Q&A video. So let's start with 2021. Do you think that a Southern Pacific MT-482 should have been preserved? Yes, absolutely. I don't know where it would have been displayed or if it even would have ran at all, but I do think one could have been preserved. Are you excited for Southern Pacific 2479 returning to Steam? Yes, absolutely. At some point, if or when she is fixed up, I will go to the Niles Canyon Railway. Have you been to any tourist railroads? Yes, I've been to a lot. A couple in California, one in Hawaii, and a couple more across the US. Do you like the South African Railways 15F class? Yes, I think it's a little too British looking, but I do like it. Can you do a video about Union Pacific 618? I've already done that. What do you think of the London, Brighton, and South Coast Railway E2? Love it, hate it, or in between? I'm more in between. I mean, I actually like the look of it, but it wasn't a great engine. But, it's okay. What is your favorite Van Swegen Berkshire? Definitely Nickel Plate Road 765. Pennsylvania Railroad or New York Central? Probably Pennsylvania Railroad, however New York Central is up there. Favorite New Zealand locomotive? I don't really have a favorite New Zealand engine. I do like all the designs though. Can you do a video about different types of locomotive tenders? I can, but my schedule is so full right now, I don't have time for it, but I may do it at some point. What do you think of steam locomotives from Asia? I think they're okay. There's a lot of variety in them, but I don't really pay that much attention to them, but some of the designs that I've seen, they're alright. What is your favorite American steam locomotive? Southern Pacific 4449, without a doubt. What is your favorite Canadian steam locomotive? Probably either Canadian Pacific 2317, 1293, or CN 3254. Any favorite movies? Yes, one of my absolute favorites of all time is Unstoppable. Another movie that's up there is Top Gun Maverick, and I also really like Till. Another option for me would probably be Ratatouille. What are your top 5 extinct steam locomotives? The Southern Pacific 482s, the Southern Pacific GS2s, Central of Georgia Big Apples, the New York Central Hudsons, and probably I would also say the Central of New Jersey Blue Comet engines. Documentary on Sierra Railroad number 3. At some point, maybe. My schedule is pretty full, but I may do a steam locomotive profiles episode on her. Where is Union Pacific Big Boy 4014 now? Well, last year it was still in Cheyenne, Wyoming, so that's where it is today. Is Pere Marquette 1225 on another railway? No, it is still on the Great Lakes Central in Owasso. Is Mallard back in business? No, I have not heard any news that she'll run again, and I don't think she will ever run again. Okay, on to 2022. What are your best moments from this year? I would say interviewing Ross Roland and also getting a cab ride in Dixiana, as well as interviewing people about the worst chemical disaster in the state of California's history. Which documentary of steam locomotives is the best that you've made? I would say Union Pacific 618 was my best. I know a lot of people have said that my Pride of America video was the best steam locomotive profiles episode that I made. However, I like Union Pacific 618 the best because that's when my editing style really solidified and I finally gained my own style from editing those videos. So I would say that was my favorite. What is your favorite from Pentrex? Oh boy, that's a tough one. From Pentrex, it would probably be either Steamtown's grand opening or Steam to the Grand Canyon featuring Santa Fe 3751. What are your favorite class of steam, diesel, and electric locomotives? Well, steam, it's the GS4 from the Southern Pacific. The diesels, it's probably the E8s. And the electric locomotives, it is the Pennsylvania Railroad GG1s. Do you like Southern Pacific 2472? Yes, I did plan to chase the engine back in August when it was at the Northwestern Pacific Railroad, but the excursion got canceled. Which steam locomotives that are extinct that you like? Well, other than the list that I mentioned earlier, another steam locomotive that I like that is also extinct is the New York Central Niagaras. Are you excited about Santa Fe 2926 returning to steam? Yes. I would hope that I can see the engine at some point, maybe when it's operating at the Grand Canyon Railway, but who really knows? Have you ever played a railroad-themed game called Railway Empire? And if you hadn't, then you should one day because it's amazing and reminds you back to when you were in the golden age of USA railroading. I have heard of Railway Empire, however, I've never played it. What is your favorite diesel locomotive? The E8, although another one is the EMD F40PH. What are your thoughts on Half-Life? I've never played Half-Life, so. What is your opinion on a film called The Cassandra Crossing? I have never heard of it. I'll have to watch it someday. Do you think another British steam engine could go on a tour over America or Canada like Flying Scotsman? So I find that very unlikely because considering how the British people view Flying Scotsman's USA tour, I doubt that another tour of a British steam engine across the US would happen. However, I do think it would be possible for a current British engine in the US to go around could be possible. What's your favorite engine? Well, besides 4449, another favorite of mine would definitely be McLeod number 25. Have you ever been to the Museum of Transportation in Roanoke? No, but it is on my bucket list to go there. Favorite locomotive builder? Lima, hands down. Favorite railroad? Southern Pacific. Favorite steam locomotive? Well, besides the other two, another favorite of mine is Dixiana at Roaring Camp. Another favorite diesel locomotive is the GP9. Another favorite electric locomotive, definitely the AEM-7. Will you ever do a steam profiles on Reading 2101 and Chesapeake and Ohio 614 or the Chessie System excursion specials like the Chessie Steam Special and the Chessie Safety Express in general? I don't know if I will be doing 2101 and 614, but who knows? Um, Time will tell if I do an episode about 2101 or 614, but I would like to. What is one moment that you can pinpoint from your childhood that is a description of why you have a lifelong fascination for trains? I would definitely say it is the video of Southern Pacific 4449 on Irvin's trains crossing a railroad crossing in Oregon. Another moment was definitely the Thomas the Tank Engine anthem. Top 3 of your favorite railroad-related moments of 2022. First time ever going out with friends to film trains, interviewing Ross Rowland, and also visiting the Cantera Loop north of Dunsmuir. Will you do a story on Canadian National 6060? I'm not sure. Maybe I can squeak in the engine, but I don't know yet. Would you like to visit the Albany and Eastern Railroad? I would. I would love to see the Santa Maria Valley engine, but who knows? Are you going to be doing any new video projects next year? Yes, absolutely. Do you like NNW 611? Yeah, I love the engine. She's probably my favorite southern US engine of all time. What is your favorite steam trains? Well, aside from the others, another favorite of mine is Southern Pacific 2472. What's your opinion on Conrail? I would have liked to see Conrail stick around. I think it was a mistake to break up Conrail between NS and CSX. So I like it, I just think it shouldn't have been split up. Will you do a story of the Emma Nevada from the Grizzly Flats Railroad? Probably not on steam locomotive profiles, I might cover it in a separate video. What is your favorite 484 steam locomotive? Aside from 4449, another favorite of mine is Cotton Belt 819. Have you been to train museums, and if so, how many have you been to? Well, I have been to a couple in California, I have been to one in Hawaii, and I've been to one in Arizona. I would have to look more into it to figure out how many I've been to. Did you have a favorite locomotive as a kid? Yes, 4449. How many states have I traveled to? Well, I have been to Hawaii, California, Oregon, Washington, Nevada, Arizona, Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, North Carolina, and New York. Have you played any train simulator games, and if so, do you have a favorite? Yes, my current favorite is probably Trains A New Era. I currently use Trains Driver 2, though. How was 2022 for you? A lot better than 2021. I do plan to do more in 2023, but we'll see how it plays out. You obviously do a Steam Locomotive Profile series because viewers pleaded you to do it after the 4449 documentary. Why did you agree with them to do this? I probably will cover a video about why I do Steam Locomotive Profiles, but the short answer is that a lot of people were asking to do another episode, and I saw that the views were extremely high for the time. So I decided to do another, but since I only had a limited time to produce another episode, I went with Pure Marquette 1225. Why did you make the 4449 documentary in the first place? Well, I made the documentary because back in December of 2020, I noticed that 4449 was going to turn 80 years old. So I decided that I wanted to do a collaboration video on it because if it was just by myself, it would be boring. And at the time, this was a gamble for me because I didn't know if people would watch the video because my channel didn't even hit 500 subscribers yet. Maybe it was a little less. But I ultimately decided to take the gamble and I collaborated with Train Guy 4501 and we produced that episode. Writing took about 4 months and editing took about 2 months. I finished the video with 4 days to spare and I uploaded it on May 20th, 2021. Would you ever do any collaborations with High Iron if you were ever to befriend him? I would like to do collaborations, it just depends on where it takes me. Well, thank you everyone for submitting your questions, and I will see you in the next year.